Myeka, and this is Let's Talk About. And today's focus is knowing the self. I mean, every day's focus should be knowing the self. Because we don't know ourselves, we will not be able to control ourselves. And if we're not controlling ourselves, something or somebody else will. Because nature abhors the void. There can be no void in nature. Something's going to take the place. I had two experiences dealing with this past week in some people who were labeled schizophrenic. And one mother called me and she wanted to see if hypnosis would help. And another person, adult, I knew about her, and I was talking with her. They had diagnosed her with schizophrenia. And in reality, schizophrenia is a gift. It's just like the person is clairvoyant or clairsentient. In other words, they have the ability to channel unseen entities or beings. And that can be a gift. There have been many great channelers, like somebody channeled Ramp, or somebody channeled, but there are all kind of channelers out there. You can find them out there. And sometimes they bring higher knowledge. But if a person grows up in a family or an environment where they're not welcome, this gift is not welcome, then it's suppressed. And it's within the suppression that it becomes demonic or detrimental to the person, because then when you start taking the drugs that doctors give you to suppress these voices say that you're hearing, then that's opening up holes in your aura, in that person's aura. And so anything can come through. So to the degree that we're not learning about ourselves and the powers that we have and the abilities that we have, we cause ourselves and our children to suffer because we don't want to accept that there's something beyond a book to tell us what to do. We have to learn that the Word of God is hidden in our hearts. And when we open our hearts, we can know the truth. And the truth can set us free in any situation that we're in. We don't have to be afraid. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you know people who are suffering from schizophrenia, you know, Matrix Energetic is a great system to help people to come into alignment in themselves. So that's my recommendation. So I'm going beyond what I'm going to do on the 8 o'clock hour. I want to introduce you to Asiya. Asiya is a human design analyst and one of the only African American or Nubian American analysts that I've come across. And I find her to be very, very good at what she does. The last time Asiya was on the show, she did a chart analysis of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. James Bevel, and Warren Houston. And she did a comparative analysis of the two charts of Dr. Martin Luther King and Dr. Bevel, who, you know, worked hand in hand to bring about many of the changes in the 60s and 70s. So, well, Dr. King died in 1968. And I want to remind all of you that next year is the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. So think of things that you can do to share his history, his words, his knowledge, his gifts. So I want to welcome Asiya. Good morning, Asiya. How are you?
Good morning. Happy New Day. I'm well. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. So glad to hear your voice.
Thank you.
So Asiya, what is the? Have you checked on the charts for today?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I'm on it right now.
Could you tell me what it's about? What's today's energy?
Oh, I thought you meant the chart for today that you wanted me to give an analyst.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the energy. Yeah, I want you to do that. I was talking about the daily charts, you know, kind of energies.
No, I haven't looked at.
I don't want to put you on the spot with that. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely would have if you would have gave me a heads up. That wouldn't have been a problem.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I did. You want to tell us some things about the human design system, what you've learned, and how it's been a benefit to you in your life?
Yes, ma'am. Well, human design came into my life in 2014, and when I discovered human design, when it came into my life the first time, I didn't, pay too much attention to it. And then it like magically showed up again the second time. And the way that it showed up, it kind of forced its way in to where I really didn't have a choice but to pay attention to it. And once I started getting into human design and studying like the different aspects, I realized that it was one of the most accurate systems that I had ever come across, because everything that had ever taken place in my life, I was able to find it within my DNA genetic blueprint. And I started, just finding all of the information that I could. And then I started doing readings. And I just kept, like redefining the way in which I delivered the information. The more that I learned, the better I got at expressing it and sharing it and teaching it. And I'm still learning. I'm only a few years in, but human design allows you to understand the way in which you are uniquely designed to operate. And by understanding what your code or your pattern is, it helps you to get in alignment with your body so that the mind doesn't have as much control over your life as it usually does. So in the world that we live in, we are conditioned at an early age to not follow what we feel and not follow what feels good to us. And we find ourselves consistently, over time going against the intelligence of the body and listening to what the mind says. And then we get ourselves into committed situations with jobs or people and many, we get tied into things, and we usually tie ourselves to things based on what the mind is telling us to do, even though the body is letting us know, hey, this is probably not a good idea to go in this direction. And then years later, we find ourselves stuck or stressed out, depressed, sick, all of the things that you're always talking about as far as like how we as beings as we need to pretty much reverse, a lot of things that have been done. And it really stems to the foundation of not following what our body's intelligence was telling us. So human design, just in a nutshell, it helps you to bring a peaceful balance between the mind and the body, because the mind and the body is always at war in this particular realm that we're in. But when you learn how to listen to what the body is telling you to do, then the mind, it's always going to chatter, but the mind realizes that it no longer has that power and that control over the body anymore. But it takes time. So, I'm still going through my process, and as I learn, I teach, but I'm always more of a student than anything.
It's interesting, two words that you used in your description of the effects it has had on you, and that's the body's intelligence. Most times we don't think about the body being intelligent. We think intelligence is something of the mind. It's a mental construct. But actually, our body is intelligent, and it has a design, it has a purpose, as does everything in the universe. And I find that when I tune into the intelligence of my body, that it really does lead me correctly. I mean, when we really look at the body's intelligence, I mean, it's like It's the body's intelligence that has our heart beating without us having to think about it. Our lungs are pumping and receiving air without us thinking about it. We walk, we talk without thinking about it. Those are just some aspects of the body's intelligence. The fact that the body is intelligently processing the food that we eat without us considering it. These are the body's intelligence. And so if we've been educated away from our body's intelligence because we've been educated to get a job, because the goal in life in a white supremacist system. So in other words, the human design system turns us back into ourselves to understand ourselves at the most basic level, the biological level. And that gives us a foundation on which to build our emotions, our psychology, and our spiritual aspects. So I welcome the human design system in my life and had to learn to live my strategy as a projector. There are 4 basic types, right, Asiya? But is the manifesting generator also considered a type? Is that one of the newly evolved types? So how does that work out? First discuss the different types there are.
Okay, well, I've actually seen some people say that there's 4 types and they just put the manifesting generators and generators together. And then I see people that say that there's 5 types. So, yeah, I'll just go with 5. But the first type is the generator. And the generator is a energy type, which means that the generators have the sacral center defined. And I know that there are going to be people listening who they have no idea like what I'm saying, but I'll do my best to simplify it. But the sacral center is the center for our life force energy and our reproductive energy. So it's the center that actually keeps the world so busy and keeps the world, always moving and always energized. And the manifesting generator is also an energy type and also has the sacral center energy. The only difference between the generator and the manifesting generator is that the manifesting generator has a motor. They have a center that is a motor connected to the throat. So a manifesting generator's throat is actually powered by a motor. So generators, their throat is not powered by a motor. So that's the slight difference between those two. The next type is the projector. The projector is a non-energy type, and projectors are designed to pretty much sit back and be guides and managers and those that are able to focus in on individuals and direct them in the way that they need to go. So Myeka, you being a projector, you're designed to actually take someone like me who's a manifesting generator and zoom in on my qualities and my gifts and the way that I can best use my energy and direct me in the best way to use my energy so that I don't blow my energy all over the place and waste it. So that's what projectors are designed for. The next type is the manifester. And the manifester is an energy type, but they're not an energy type with the sacral center defined. Manifestors just simply have a motor connected to their throat, but it's a motor that's not the sacral center. So manifestors are designed to actually inform and initiate. So a manifestor's position in humanity would be to get things started. And from there, the energy types, the manifesting generators and the generators would go ahead and complete the process that the manifestor started. So the manifestor is here to just simply let people know what's going to happen, what they're going to do, and push people out the way to get it started. And the last type is the reflector, which is only like 1% of the planet. So reflectors are rare, but there's still a bunch of them on the planet. And reflectors are here to reflect back what the environment is like. So you'll usually find a reflector in maybe like one in each neighborhood, you know, or one in each, you know, like major area, because the reflectors are designed to take in the energy of the environment, and based on the health and the vitality of that reflector, that will help to show what is the health and the vitality of that whole neighborhood or that whole area. So reflectors have a very special position in the world when it comes to how they assist in humanity. And yeah, that sums up the 5 types. And I hope that that was easy to understand for those that aren't familiar.
Well, one of the things that was very well said. I think it was very clear,
Okay.
and I think that anything new is going to be going to create tension in the body, because you know you have to assimilate it. You have to learn how to assimilate it, and the best way to continue that process is to get more information. So you can go to Asiya's site. She has a lot of videos on her website and also on YouTube, where she thoroughly explains this with charts, with diagrams. So I would see, what is your web address?
My website is freeyourmindtoshine.com. FREEYOURMINDDESIGN.com.
FreeYourMindToShine.com. And you can also find Asiya, which is spelled Asiya, on YouTube. She has many videos on YouTube whereby she's explaining the human design system. And also, Asiya is an analyst, and she does private consultation. So if you're interested in knowing yourself from the human design perspective, I would encourage you to get in touch with Asiya via her website and set up an appointment to get an analysis done of your chart. And you will be grateful for having done that. I mean, you will really feel good about yourself, because that's what it's designed to do, to show you in the highest and best aspect. So Asiya, I gave you a chart to do, an anonymous chart. Let's start the analysis now, and then we're going to go to a break at 8:30, and then we'll continue if necessary. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. So this particular individual is a projector. And a projector, again, is a non-energy type. So this individual is not designed to do a lot of physical work. So this person, I don't know if there's anything specific.
Let me just say this, it's a male. Let me just say this too. Because I gave Asiya this chart last night to do. And it's anonymous, but it's a famous person, and it's a male. So I just want you to get that information, okay?
Okay. So this particular person, I can see them having some type of position to where they might be in an office, or doing something to where they are directing, guiding, and leading others through a mode of expressing what needs to be corrected. So this is somebody that more than likely, I don't know if they're still alive or not, but more than likely they have, or they do express a lot of things that deal with criticism of systems and the way in which the community or just the collective operates. And that's because they are here to express dissatisfaction, judgment, and criticism for the purposes of making things better. So I definitely see this person as having a lot of, not necessarily energy in the ways that a manifester or a generator or a manifesting generator has, but they have the adrenaline that's consistently available. And this is also a person that is that will be a quick moment to moment responder when it comes to things that they see need to be corrected. This person is very has a lot of fight in them, a lot of provoking. So this is someone who will push you. They will push you and poke you and prod you, and let you know what you need to be doing to do better. Another thing is that this person has a lot of energy of let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? They have a lot of energy, meaning like in their activations of exploring things from a more not necessarily like logical aspect. Like they have a lot of logical aspects in them, but they have a lot of activations that will make them journey a lot and explore a lot of different areas of the world, possibly. So I can see this person traveling, and based on their travels and based on the experiences that they pick up from their travels, they collect a lot of stories that they end up telling that pretty much show the significance of what they learned on their travels. And through them sharing stories and doing a lot of storytelling from their travels, that also helps to expand the minds and the consciousness of the collective. Another thing is that in this natural judgment and very critical, dissatisfied energy that they present, they are also very opinionated and have a lot of like mental knowledge behind that. So I can see this person using like a lot of facts, a lot of just using a lot of book knowledge in the expression of whatever their argument is, or whatever it is that they feel like, okay, these are the things that need to be changed. This is a person that also expresses a lot of values and morals, because that also goes along with the that whole need to correct and to be of service through that judgment and expressing what needs to be changed. Another thing is that manipulation is very very natural for this person, and manipulation is not necessarily a bad thing. Manipulation is just, it's an energy that can be used for whatever the person chooses to use it for. But this person is able to handle highly egotistical people through a very calm, cool, and manipulative way of kind of like taming those very egotistical people. Now, another thing is that this person also has a lot of open areas. So they only have 2 areas that are defined, that have consistent energy. The other areas being open, I can see this person, with all of this adrenaline energy that they possess and all of the consistent expressions of dissatisfaction and judgment and correction and things that need to be changed. I can, on the other side, see this person, needing a lot of rest and being, very stressed out at times, because they're naturally going to be pushed and pulled by a lot of people. And this person is also naturally able to shapeshift into different characters. So this is someone who, no matter where they would go on the planet, they will be able to blend in and fit in with, the people, the culture, wherever they go, they can just shapeshift. So they do have an advantage when it comes to being of service and leading people into things that, deal with, we as a collective just need to do better. And then, also with the not self aspect being bitterness, I can see this person expressing bitterness if they're not recognized for their efforts or they're not included in a process, because they're just very, there's so much fighting and so much power within this person and so much, you know, adrenaline. You know, I can see this person really needing to be included. And if they're not, I can see it being a problem for them and for the people around them.
All right, Asiya.
Yeah.
You've done an excellent job. We're going to go to our last break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to find out who this person is, okay?
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Kareem Habib. And I'm Sister Manira Habil. Join us every Wednesday from 6 to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on the Female Solution radio show as we, along with our host, Naima Latif and the American Muslim 360 family, discuss ways to improve our relationships with our spouses, our children, and our loved ones in order to build a stronger community. Call in and comment at 515-605-9891 and press 1 when you're ready to speak. We want to hear your thoughts. Assalamu alaikum.
Shopping is something you have to do every week, whether it's for food, clothing, or cleaning supplies. Wouldn't it be great if you could save time by just pressing a few buttons on your computer and all your shopping was done? All you'd have to do is go to the store and pick it up.
And we are back, and we have with us Asiya, who is a human design analyst. And in the last 10 minutes, Asiya has been analyzing an anonymous chart. I'm going to reveal shortly. I got a few questions to ask her, and she to find out if she has anything else to say about this particular person. And then we'll reveal who this person is. And then we can all see how the human design analyst looks into who we are. So, Asiya, did you have some words to say on that person?
No, I was actually like finished right when you said, you know, we were about to go to the break. So, yeah, I think I covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me this, Asiya. Can you pull out careers to looking at a chart? Like, can you look at that chart and say what would be some of the best careers for that person? Is that possible?
Yes, I do that just based on, you know, my own intuition and me, you know, I look at a chart and I look to see what is best for a person based on what is available, and also based on how a person can take this knowledge of themselves and maybe even be innovative and create something. So I give people different types of categories, and also give suggestions based on, you know, like if I was to put myself in their body, you know, and I had this information about myself, how I would go about maybe taking different components of, you know, the different aspects that I'm good at and maybe creating something new. So, yeah, I mean, I just kind of go off what I feel, but usually people already have involved themselves in something that I've thrown out there as a suggestion. So, yeah.
So looking at this chart, what kind of careers would you project would be best for this particular person?
With this being a projector, and someone who's actually designed to travel and move around, but also, you know, someone who's designed to lead and direct and manage and guide and you know, help other people in one-on-one situations, but also be able to help groups as well and help communities and the collective. I see this person, I think I mentioned earlier, I can see this person being in some type of office to where, you know, they are able to, you know, have their own enclosed space and deal with people one-on-one. Like I can see this person being like in a position like, you know, a political position maybe, or someone who can move around, but I see this person as being in a higher position that is making some type of change in the world. So you know, that can come in all forms, but what I do know is that this person definitely needs their own space. They would need alone time. So something that would allow them to engage with other people, help the community, help the collective, be able to speak to people and direct people and you know, guide people, but then also them have the freedom to take a vacation if they need it, and go off somewhere, you know, away from, you know, the same place, you know, that they're used to being in, because that wouldn't be very healthy for a person like that to be in the same environment, you know, all the time. So that's why I brought up the travel, and this person being able to being designed to wander about and travel and collect experiences through their travel, and collect stories that they end up sharing with people about what they learned during their travel experience.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You know, I actually put Asiya on the hot seat because I had her to analyze a chart of a famous man and to determine, you know, who this person, we can look at who this person is, and we can look at her analysis, and we're going to see great similarities, you know. I'm going to read a couple of quotes from this person. He says, if I am a cup maker, I'm interested in making the best cup I possibly can. My effort goes into that cup, not what people think about it. Here's another quote. I made a commitment to completely cut out drinking and anything that might hamper me from getting my mind and body together. And the floodgates of goodness have opened up on me spiritually and financially. And I'm going to do one more quote from him. He says, one good thing about acting in film is that it's good therapy. This person is none other than Academy Award winner Denzel Washington.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
One of the things that interested me when you were describing this chart was when you said he's a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
I said he really is a shapeshifter. And like you said, he comes, when he travels, you know, he pulls on these stories, and then he presents these stories to people so that people can benefit from the stories, and that's what he does, essentially. So thank you so much, Asiya. It really helped me to see how, you know, we can look at a chart and even not know who the person is specifically and still understand what their design is.
Yeah.
And this is what you will get in relationship to human design chart. So knowing that it's Denzel, how does that make you feel, Asiya, in terms of this analysis?
Well, I actually pulled Denzel's chart a couple of years ago, but I just never analyzed it for real, you know, and it's been a while since I looked at it. So I have this chart already, but I knew it was similar to his, but I didn't put it together. You know, I'm just like, hey, whoever this anonymous person is, I'm just going to read what I see. But yeah, that's interesting. Like, and just thinking about the things that I said and how we all know Denzel. So yeah, that's
right.
that's really cool. Wow.
Thank you for going along with this. You know, you could have bowed out, but you did. You took it in stride. I really appreciate it. So listen, I have a couple of callers who have their hands up. I don't know if they have questions for you or what, but we'll find out. 407-701. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. This is Myeka, your health and wellness coach on Saturday. Thank you very much, sister, for sharing this. This has been very enlightening, and I appreciate the work you're doing to help us heal the planet. And it just goes to show you there's more than one solution to help people heal and have peace. And you said something earlier that I would like you to elaborate on. You said the mind and body are always at war. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes. I'll use an example that, oh, by the way, you're welcome. And thank you for your comment as well. But one thing that we're all familiar with is how our bodies will naturally gravitate towards something or even resist something, but then we immediately override that intelligence of our body, and then our mind starts to come up with all of these excuses. You know, even if it's something good, it could be our body is saying, "Ooh, I want to do this." Our body is propelling towards a situation, and you feel that you want to engage in whatever that is that you're being pulled towards. But then the mind might come in and say, "But oh, well, you know, I'm not good enough," or what if something happens and I lose that, or what if, you know, all of these what ifs come in. So your mind immediately just starts to take over the pure truth that was already given to you by your body. Even with, you know, just something as simple as using a bathroom. You don't have to think to use the bathroom. When you have to use the bathroom, you just get up. But, you know, even in certain situations, you know, there are people that have been maybe in school or some type of job to where, you know, they want to use the bathroom, but because of the demands of that job or the rules of the school, they may be scared to just raise their hand and say, you know, "Can I please go to the bathroom?" because they might be scared of repercussions from the teacher. So, you know, our bodies are always giving us just a pure indication that lets us know what direction to move in or what we should do. And the mind just always comes in and chops it up. And people end up, you know, in the worst scenarios, people can end up getting killed because they didn't listen to the pure intelligence of their bodies. Because, you know, you could be going down the street and your body is telling you, "Stop, turn around, don't stop going." And then, you know, your mind is like, "But, you know, this is the shortcut. This is the quickest way to get to where I need to go, or I need to hurry up and get there." And then your body could have picked up on, you know, a future scenario, maybe 3 minutes ahead, that there was going to be a truck that had somebody who was drunk driving it. And then boom, you're in a car accident. When you had the indication that told you to stop or turn around, you know. So it's things like that everyone has experienced at some point in their life to where, you know, they did something and they're like, "Oh my God, I knew I shouldn't have done that." Or they didn't do something, and, you know, come to find out there was a higher intelligence that their body was connected to that, you know, prevented them from doing that situation. And then they found out later that there was some terrible, you know, scenario that took place that they would have been in if they would have went. So, you know, I hope that, you know, kind of helps you understand what I was expressing.
I think that was pretty clear. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to open up 407-701. Good day. Greetings.
Yes, thank you. It's me again. I would like to comment on that just for a second. I think the word war was the strong. Was what I heard was strong, and that's why when you said that, I thought, "Oh, I need her to elaborate on that." But I think what you're saying, and I think it's just a matter of semantics and words. That the body is always working to be in synchronicity and harmony. And so being the kingdom that it is, we have to build our consciousness of what this kingdom is trying to say to us. So you explained that perfectly, and I feel better about the word war taken out, because this is what I read recently, is that disease, there's someone, I can't remember who stated this, but disease is war within and war without. And I thought, wow, that's so true. When people are in disease, they usually have, in their outer environment, there's some war or conflict going on, and internally, especially, there's a war going on. But when you said war, I thought, oh, that means we're always in a disease state. But no, I think it's just a matter of wording, and you did it perfectly. So thank you so much for elaborating on that.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Asiya. 336-350. Good morning. 336. Can you hear me? Yes. Greetings, Dr. Myeka, and to your wonderful guests, and greetings to all of your listeners. I just find this just so fascinating. Do you know Denzel popped in on my phone yesterday, and I posted it on Facebook. Facebook. I'm just so fascinated how in sync things are. I'm presently here in Asheville, North Carolina, in the mountains, and I have a window that I'm looking out at the trees, and all my body wants to do is just rest and sleep and heal. And I have a war within me that's saying, you got to do. But you know what? My body is saying, no, you don't. We brought you here to rest and be with the trees and just observe. And thank you. Thank you so much for choosing Denzel. It tells me a lot about the universe speaking to me, and I will reach out to you again, little sister, because I would love for you to do a chart. So we'll talk about it. Thank you, Dr. Myeka. Thank you so much for all that you bring to the planet. Thank God. I hope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope. Yes, I have 312-823. Yes, today. Hello. Hi. Hi, this is Asiya. I find that's very informative, but I have a question for her. I need to know about the diagnostic that's invented for us in psychiatry. They have diagnostics and say that has been allowed. Are you understanding her? Yeah, I'm understanding. If you're not clear, why don't you come off of speakerphone and ask your question? Okay, you may be clearer. Okay. I'm trying to find out the diagnostic, because there are so many people, especially in psychiatry, that comes up with all these diagnostics for treatment of people, of human beings. And I have a special concern because I'm very active in the community, and I see that there is a lot of mental disorders, but also in my family. So I'm trying to find out when it comes to diagnostics, because environmentally, they have this statistical manual that the psychiatrists have invented in regards to mental disorders. So how do you come up with the diagnostics that you have as a opposition of what the psychiatrists have invented for us? You're using a psychiatrist's manual as just a comparative analysis, right? Yeah. So I think she talked about the body graph. She has got aware of the body graph. Huh? Now, in comparative of what she does, my question is, how does she come up with her diagnostics? Well, we got the question. the question, we got it. I can let him know. Okay, no problem. Asiya, you want to go deal with that?
Yes, for the human design system, there's software that will generate the blueprints for people based on their date of birth, time of birth, and location of birth. And then, you know, this software is already put together, and anybody can actually get this software as well. And they also have many websites to where you can generate charts on your own. So yeah, the software generates these charts, and from there you're able to just see a person's genetic blueprint and understand the different characteristics based on which activations they have.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's a whole system that when you learn the system, you learn what these activations that she's speaking of are. And you know, it's something that everybody should know. I think children should learn it in school, actually. And it's not complicated. It's just the learning. And some people are going to be better at it than others. Like Asiya, she's been in it just for a short amount of time. And she's able to analyze whole charts like you just saw. People, she don't even know who they are. And with accuracy. And then somebody like me, I think I've been in it longer than Asiya, but I'm not an analyst. I don't put the aspects together. So yeah, it's called the Human Design System, and you can get free charts. I know Jovian Archive, that's JOVIAN, has free charts. See, you know some other places?
Oh, I forgot to mention that when you go to my website, freeyourmindtoshine.com, you'll see a tab that says free DNA genetic blueprint, and I will generate a free chart for anybody who wants one, because the websites that do give free charts, I notice that they don't give all of the information. So I provide the full professional charts. And if just so that people are clear, because last time I was on the show, I don't think people understood the chart itself is free, but I do have a business. So if you would like an actual session, I do charge for sessions. But everyone is welcome to get a free human design blueprint from me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's freeyourmindtoshine.com.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not prepared or able to afford an analyst, you can actually take that chart and generate it, and you can look at different aspects. Like if you see that you're a manifestor, you can Google manifestor.
Yes.
And you can find out what your design is by studying the aspects of your chart. So you can do a lot of self-study also in human design. The information is readily available. So, you know, this has really been exciting. Let me see if I got any more callers with any more questions. Okay, if you have a question, please press 1. Just press 1. And maybe I'll go back to some people who talked earlier. Maybe you have a question. Brother,
yes,
do you have a question? Mm-hmm.
I sure do. You know, I love what she's doing. Can you give Myeka? Can you do Myeka? So use this.
You want to do my chart? You wanted to do my chart real quick? She does have my chart. Asiya, can you respond to that real quick?
Let me see. Hold on one second. I don't know if it's only 4 minutes left, correct?
Yeah. What I was going to say is, you know, what you said about this.
Let her do what she's doing. Mm-hmm.
Being a shapeshifter, I think that is what it is changing the world. We're getting people to come out and speak in reality and not just in theater. And that's, you know, I'm in acting, I'm in music, and that's what you're doing is great because it pulls out and lets us see each other in the raw, in the real. You know, everybody everybody's a
So
character.
right. So in the next 3 minutes, could you just do a brief analysis of Myeka?
Yeah.
I don't have your chart available right now. So
Okay.
yeah, and that's yeah. Sorry.
Okay. She has done a chart on me, but she just doesn't have it in front of her right now. She would have to have pulled it up.
It would take too much
There's not
time,
enough time to
you know.
do that right
Yeah. Yeah.
now. Okay, well, we've come to the end of our show, and I just want to thank you so much, Asiya, for taking this time to share with us what you have learned. And again, I want to encourage people to get in touch with Asiya. Is there another way to get in touch with you, Asiya, other than through your website?
Well, my website has everything, but if you were to just Google Free Your Mind to Shine, all of my contact information comes up. I also have my online self-empowerment classroom as well. So that information is on my website too.
Great. Is there any last words you'd like to say before we go?
Oh, no, just thank you. Thank you for having me again. And I appreciate everyone for listening and for welcoming me back to the platform. And I hope to hear from some of you all. Thank you.
Yes, take the time now, get to know yourself, and utilize the services of this wonderful young woman who has obviously been prepared to do this work to help people to come into the knowledge of themselves. We look forward to you coming back next week. I'm going to have Ms. Denise Avery on. Denise has created a system called Seminoscopy, the key to our greater self-learning. So check in next week and listen to Seminoscopy. Have a great day. Peace and grace.